Thank you for tuning into the channel. Let's dive right into the facts and figures for the Phoenix metro real estate market. Some of these numbers are going to surprise you, so make sure you stick around to the end, especially if you're thinking about buying and or selling before 2025 comes to an end. Jennifer, take it away.
Let's start off with new listings. There were 8,241. In the previous month, there were 7,554. And last year, this time, there were 8,058.
All I can ask you to do is please click subscribe, like, leave us a comment. That truly helps this channel grow. Thanks, Jennifer. New listings is a great place to start because many buyers and or sellers are really focusing in on how many new properties are being added to the market. You can see we're up a bit from last year, but up significantly from last month. And that will be, as you see the video rolls, a cause of concern to many people that are thinking about making a move before the end of 2025.
Next up, active listings. We had 24,486. In the previous month, there were 23,671. And last year, this time, there were about 5,000 less at 19,781.
The proof is in the pudding, as they say. I'm really not sure why they say that, but the proof is definitely in the numbers. And we can see the amount of active listings are piling up. Huge amount more than last year and a decent amount more than last month. Again, what that means is not as many buyers as there are sellers. So what we need is the buyers to get off that proverbial fence and start looking at homes. Now's a great time. Look, you don't actually have to purchase something, but you talk to a lender, see where you are buying power-wise, and then go out there and check out a few of the amazing houses that are for sale. Buyers understand that there's a high amount of inventory, so they don't have to be pushed around or rushed, maybe a better way to word it. And sellers are going to have to understand that they might have to do a little bit more giving than taking when offers come in because the competition right now is quite high. So it's a great time for buyers to be out there. I know I'm going to say that again throughout this video because it's the truth. Download the Mr. Rogers Homes app or reach out directly. Your oasis awaits. Boy, I like that new plug for our home search app, and I know you're going to enjoy using it, not because it's free and accurate, nobody sells your information and nobody bothers you, but because it's very easy to use. Also, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, the word more, you can get yourself a free buyer's guide, seller's guide, relocation guide. We even started to add some of our vendors. Everything you might need in the realm of real estate, you name it, we're adding it to that list. Enjoy.
Closed listings. There were 5,253. Last month, 6,377. And last year this time, 5,414.
Closed listings. That's one Phoenix real estate statistic I pay close attention to. After all, it's the finish line. A buyer hopefully found a home of their dreams, and a seller hopefully has more money in their piggy bank. A win for everybody. You can see that we're about the same from last year, and that's a good thing. A 12-month steady flow of listings or homes being sold. However, you can see that we don't have nearly as many closed listings this month as we do last month. And that's typically because we're coming into year end. Of course, other things will weigh into it. I'll say it again, the economy, the interest rates. But overall, when there's a lot of properties for sale, it's good for buyers. But you can see we still are closing properties. We're just not closing them as fast as new listings are being put on the market. So it's the old ebbs and flows of real estate. Like life and oceans, you know, buying and selling real estate also has its ups and downs.
The crowd favorite is next. Average sales price. Last month it was $583,604. Last month was $570,598. And last year, wow, it was actually lower at $568,998.
Thank you, Jennifer, and you're spot on. Average sales price is a crowd favorite. That's because both buyers and or sellers are always going to focus in on the cost of things. Buyers always want the most bang for the buck, and sellers always want the most bucks. That makes sense, pardon the pun. You can see that over the course of 12 months in Phoenix real estate, prices of homes have increased. Now, I'm not going to blow smoke up your beep, but I am going to let you know that dips happen or decreasing values do happen. But over the long haul, as the joke goes, which I really don't find it funny, I think it's more of a hard truth, you're always going to be paying a mortgage. It's either yours or your landlord's. So start now. Buy a property. You're going to sooner or later see that equity grow. And either way, unless you live in a cave, which is fine, you're going to want a roof over your head. And now is a great time to look for one.
Sold to list ratio. 100% would mean that the seller got their list price. Last month, it was 97.3%. The following month was the same. And last year, this time was 97.7%.
Jennifer didn't mess around giving us the shortest yet most accurate definition of sold to list ratio I've ever heard. I like it. And I also like the fact that over 12 months, when sellers are putting their properties for sale, they're getting darn near what they're asking for. So sellers, there's a bit of good news for you.
Oh, month supply of inventory. Last month it was 4.7. The following month was 3.7, and last year was 3.7.
Ooh is correct. When it comes to the next couple of statistics for the Phoenix real estate market, not so good. But I gotta call it like it is. You always want the facts and figures correctly. Otherwise, it's tough to, well, make proper moves. Here's the thing, and in every monthly update, I do mention it, so I'll say it again. A healthy inventory, in my humble opinion, is somewhere between 2 months low and 4 months high. 3 months mean average. Well, you can see by the numbers, we just hit 4.7 months of inventory. That's a lot of inventory. And you're going to see in a couple of minutes that the amount of inventory is affecting how long properties stay on the market. And it's also affecting a very serious number, which I'll talk about right now. Or I'll let Jennifer tell us the numbers, then I'll explain why it's serious.
Listing success rate. If we are at 100%, that would mean we're back in 2021 when listings were flying off the shelves. But that is not the case right now. The previous month, we were at 66.4%. The previous month, 66.8%. And last year was 73.1% chance of your listing closing.
Well, I told you so. The listing success rate isn't looking so successful. Now, there's never really been a time where 100% of the properties on the market sold, which would be a great thing for everybody. I think everybody, perhaps everybody. But my point to this is 66% is not really where you want to be. Buyers really can't even take advantage of this statistic. Sellers kind of get worried thinking that every other house, or it would be 1/3 of every house, is by the math. But again, when you start looking at 66%, then you start thinking, holy cow, if it goes down to 50%, that's every other house. Yeah, we're not there yet. And even if we were, here's the thing, and I'm going to have to go off path a little bit to give you the straight and narrow. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. When you look at a property for sale, it doesn't mean that it's not going to sell based on statistics. Sometimes a property just sells because it's the right time, it's the right fit, it's the right neighborhood, it faces the right way, the pool temperature looks right, the sun is shining on the trees just the way it should, and there's a hummingbird feeding on the hummingbird feeder. My point to the story is you can't really think that it's always going to be a number specific. I love numbers and I use them, and I don't want to speak with forked tongue, but I definitely want to let you know that because it says 66% and let's say 1 out of 3 houses isn't going to sell and the other 2 are, it doesn't exactly mean sold, sold, not sold, 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 not sold. What it kind of means is be prepared to make some adjustments if you're a seller to be competitive with the amount of inventory that's out there. And buyers, again, now's a great time to, well, submit a strong offer in your favor.
Last but not least, average days on market. Last month it was 85 days, and that's the average, so it can easily be more. The previous month was the same, 85 days, and last year this time it was 71.
You said it, Jen. Last but not least, days on market is very important. And as I mentioned, it's Not the best of news, but I like how Jennifer saw glass half full. It could be worse. Right now we're looking at 85 days, so if we round that up to 90 days, that's about 3 months for an average house to go under contract. And I want you to remember something. Days on market isn't how long it takes for a property to be sold. It's actually how long it takes to go under contract. After it goes under contract, many buyers are going to have an inspection, and I highly recommend they do. And they're probably, unless they're paying cash, and even if they do, they're probably going to have an appraisal to make sure the property value is about what they're paying for, plus or minus, and they can adjust that as the contract progresses. But my point being is, when we see average days on market, currently 85, that's how long it takes for a property, once it's listed, to go under contract. There's still other steps before it actually closes and the seller gets money sent to their bank account and a buyer gets the keys to their forever perfect home.